Is the 2023 Honda Odyssey Sport the best option for the ultimate road trip minivan? Today I borrowed this 2023 Honda Odyssey Sport in Sonic Gray from my friends at Holmes Honda here in Shreveport, Louisiana. The price is on the screen right now, so nobody should be asking me, what is the price, Tom? Because I've shown it to you. So, this is obviously one of the colors that is available. So if you want to buy a Honda Odyssey Sport, well, it's available in Sonic Gray, Platinum White, Crystal Black, and Radiant Red. I believe I got all of the colors there. But if I didn't, trust me, there are people waiting in the wings in the comments section to correct me. But I believe I covered all the colors. Now, I want to show you something real quick here before we talk about what the Sport trim level adds to what is ultimately the EXL trim level. Why is this rear door as low as it is? Well, you can change the height of the door. It's very easy to do depending on what your needs are. All you have to do is take the door to the height you want it to be. You can raise it, you can lower it, whatever. And then all you're gonna do is hold that button down and listen for the beeps. And there we go. So when I open that door again later on, you're going to see that it will open back up to its full capability height instead of being lowered like I had it earlier. The additions with the Sport package include the black leather interior with red stitching. Hopefully you can see that real well. It's kind of hard to pick up on the screen most likely, but it is there. There's also red ambient lighting. You'll have to just kind of take my word on that because, well, that's gonna be hard to show on a bright sunny day like this. You also have the leather wrapped steering wheel also with red stitching. Again, I hope you can see the stitching right there. You will also find black carpeted floor mats, the gloss black mirrors, obviously going to have the turn signal indicators built in. There's also black trim all over the vehicle. And you can see that especially well here on the front end with the gloss black grille, upper and the lower grille down there. That's not gloss black, which is probably a good thing, but the flat black there, the gloss black here. I wonder why Honda didn't just black out all the emblems as well. Well, kind of interesting to see that. What do you think about that? You'll also find the surround for the blinker housings and for the fog lights, body color door handles, and finally the two 35/55 tires surrounding those gloss black 19-inch wheels. If you wonder what those numbers mean on the tires, 235 on the width and 55 on the sidewall size. That's going to help contribute to the good ride quality that this front wheel drive Odyssey has. Now, in my personal opinion, if you have a Sport trim level, there should be some added horsepower under the hood. Well, there isn't here, but that doesn't mean that this Odyssey is hurting for power. The 3.5-liter V6 puts out 280 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And if you're wondering, is that enough horsepower? It will actually spin the front tires just a little bit, chirp them just a bit from a dead stop if you drop the hammer. But if you don't drop the hammer too much, what kind of MPGs can you get? 19 city, 28 highway, 22 combined, and according to Honda, you should use 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive. And to make that a little bit more simplified within the confines of this area, the gas tank, it's a 19.5 gallon gas tank. And you can see some more of that black accent on the vehicle right here. You've got the nice rear roof spoiler. And I'll show you, like I said earlier, when this rear door opens now, we have the door going up to its maximum height because I reset everything. And you do have quite a bit of storage space back here. While this area is meant for the stowing magic rear seats, here are the instructions to tell you how to do that, but it's so easy, I can do it one-handed. Watch this, let's just see, whoops, you know, we got a problem there, let's fix that. Now that that's out of the way, I can put that all the way down. You can do that obviously with both sides here, but here's the cool thing, and this is how easy this is to fix. So just grab that strap right there, and then you can pull the strap back up. And the good news here, look at how far back that seat reclines. So you can leave it there, your rear seat passengers can leave it there, or they can put it up in the more upright position. But the good thing is, for this area down here, when the magic stowing rear seats are not in this area, that is additional cargo capacity. And what about cargo capacity numbers? 32.8, up to 140.7, up to a maximized when you lower these rear seats, and you can take the middle row seats completely out. There's actually 3 different seats. I'll show you a picture on the screen because I'm just too lazy to pull them all out myself today, but that maximizes cargo capacity to 144.9 cubic feet. And if you want to tow with this Odyssey, it tows a respectable, especially for a front-wheel drive vehicle, 3,500 pounds. Okay, I did take one seat out because there's a couple of things I want to show you here. These are the magic sliding seats. That's what this is for here, this particular release. You can see the diagram right there. Well, what that's telling you is that you can move these seats back and forth. See how I did that right there? There's a lot of advantages to that. You can move both seats, slide them back and forth on the track right there. And being that they're removable, obviously that increases their usability that much more. So let's do this. We're gonna get that out of the way and hop into the rear seat area. And I'm gonna pull this back. Now, keep in mind that while I have this seat as far back as it will go, I do have a reasonable amount of leg room, quite a bit actually. You can move the seat position forward if you want to. There's a release on the seat that will let you do that. And as you can see, there is a lot of space back here, and obviously a couple of cup holders, air conditioning vents, and right here connectivity via a 12-volt power outlet. And just so you can see, I have moved the seat on the right here all the way forward. That's a very unrealistic place for it to be, but it shows you the difference between the left side or the driver's side seat over there that's all the way back in this rear area compared to what we have here. So there's a little bit of room to improve if desired, if somebody with really long legs is sitting there in the back seat. And then that seat's very easy to move back. Now, you can use this lever right here to lower the seat, and then this lever actually allows you to tilt the seat forward, not only if you just want to move it out of the way but leave it in place, but also so that you can take it out. And just in case you were saying, I don't believe you, Tom, well, there you go. You see that you can tilt the seats forward, and yes, as I showed you earlier, you can remove these, but I'm just not going to use the energy to do it today. And a quick look at your remote. So as you can see, it has lock, unlock. You can open the power sliding side doors on each side. You can open the power rear door. You've got your panic button and your favorite, remote start. I know a lot of you really like that. And then there's a button here on the interior to open the sliding side doors or that rear door. You can also use that handle right there. You can also use the handle from the inside to open right here. So that makes a difference as well. And let's see what happens when you hop on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and pull that and let it close everything. But let's go over here to this side. So you have the shade that can be put in place. I'm not going to put that in place because I also want to show you that you have the one touch down power window. Obviously it's going to be the same on both sides. Again, one touch up, one touch down. So a lot of advantages there. And there are, believe it or not, 17 cup holders throughout the interior of this Odyssey. You've got connectivity down there, a couple of USB options. And then air conditioning vents are going to be throughout in a few different areas of the vehicle, including right here. There's also some in the rear, and they are controlled right here. This is your tri-zone climate control that you have, dual in the front, single in the rear, all controlled right here. And a lot going on. In fact, I don't know if I can do this one-handed. It doesn't look like it. But there are cup holders built in right here. It's also an armrest. And quite a bit of space, obviously, not only for cargo capacity, as we talked about earlier, but also for your rear seat passengers. Okay, now I can show you. There you go. It's an armrest, and you've got the cup holders right there, and a little snack section there. Probably more beneficial to the rear seat passengers because it's easier to get to, or they could snag a few from there. Now, you do have the conventional size sunroof. Tell me down in the comments section, when Honda redesigns the Ridgeline, do you want to see a panoramic sunroof instead of the conventional size, or does it make a difference? And with the passenger side door, nice soft touch materials here for the armrest. That is actually pretty comfortable. The upper and the lower door bins, quite a bit of space there. And then you have the one touch down. Make sure you know what I'm doing here, and one touch up. That way you can see my hand isn't on it. For the windows, that means all the windows in this minivan, in this Odyssey, are one touch. And now here is the gloveless glove box. There's no space or no gloves in the space in there, but there is this. What exactly is this? It's a wheel lock key. Let me show you what that's for. If you ever need to change a tire, what's going to happen is all of your lug nuts are going to be easy to remove with your basic tire iron, with the exception of this one. See how that looks different? That's why this is here. It goes on the lug wrench, and you put it on there, and that allows you to release that wheel lock key, or wheel lock, I should say, with the key. We'll get that correct this time. And we'll hop back in here real quick. Just take a quick look at the design of the dashboard with the air conditioning vents, a little bit of trim right here. And then you have the controls here for that power sliding sunroof, the conversation mirror, so when you're not driving, you can give your kids the angry eyes if they need it, or the kind eyes. Maybe they're being really good back there in the back seat area. Sunglass holder as well, so it's a multitasker. You also have, well, more cup holders. They are everywhere within the interior of this minivan, so nobody will go thirsty, like I said. Connectivity, a little more of the options there, and a lot of space within the center console with the garage door style, as I like to call it, sliding lid. And don't worry, I'm going to show you the visors as well, the sun visors. There we go. And there I am. Yes, my hair is a little wind blowing today because the wind is blowing out there just a wee bit. Okay, maybe a little more than a wee bit. Now, one thing you won't find here is that these do not slide back, but for where they end up, as far as back here on the back of the window, they'll do a really good job of blocking the sun out. So not necessarily a problem that they don't slide, they're still going to accomplish their purpose. And here on the driver's side door, same size door bins, but a little more in the way of accessories and functionality. All the controls for the windows at all four corners or all four doors of the minivan. Obviously, you can lock the windows if you need to. Here's your door lock functions and the controls for those heated power side view mirrors. And also seat memory, 2 settings for the driver, so that's good. You can also open and close those power sliding side doors, and obviously you can close or open the rear door. So I'm going to show you right here what we have. Let's get rid of that so that we can show you what's on the screen. A nice dashboard right there. Simple, but a lot of good information that you can go through very easily here. Your steering wheel mounted controls, that's what I was using to do that. And then you're going to have cruise control right here. Obviously you have adaptive cruise control and then features like that. And if you're feeling really sporty in your Odyssey Sport, guess what? You have shifter paddles. You can drive in sport mode if you want to and use those shifter paddles. Controls for the headlights right here and the fog lights and even the blinkers that let you know what, or let people around you know what you're doing when you push that in the appropriate position so they don't have to guess. Yeah, I don't like that. That's right, I'm a little sarcastic about it. So we're not doing any turn signal indicator tutorials today, so hopefully you don't need that. Push button start, can't say anything sarcastic about that, but notice how that's red. I told you there's red ambient lighting right in here. And there is a lot of that going on. I just wish we had a dark enough atmosphere to show it to you. And the infotainment screen, Honda having one of the easiest to use in the industry. You can see what all is here. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is here. Obviously, social playlist allows different people within the vehicle to share their playlist via Bluetooth if they want to. So we're going to get out of that. That makes a big difference. Very nice, very convenient feature. You can see what all's here. You do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so obviously you can pair your smartphone. We'll go into reverse and look at the multi-view rear view camera. You can see you've got a couple of different views, 3 different views actually to be exact. And then we'll go back into park. Dual zone climate control. I mentioned that earlier, that you have the dual zone climate control. You also have the heated seats right here, but heated only, no ventilated. Believe it or not, here on December 8th, when I'm filming this video of 2022, I don't need those. I need ventilated seats. And the push button shifter, what do you think? Would you rather see a conventional shifter, maybe something down here? You'd have to redesign a lot to get that, or a column shifter up here. Tell me what you think about that. And then you have your multiple driving modes. Drive, Sport, Econ, and Snow. You can turn off the auto stop start feature right there. and more connectivity down here as well with the 12 volt. You've got USB connectivity, a whole lot of space here with what ultimately amounts to a pass-through, or you can put your purse right there for you ladies. There's actually a hook over on this side where you can hang a bag. You ladies can hang your purses right there. Or you men, if you've been to the auto parts store, you bought some oil, spark plugs, maybe a supercharger for your Odyssey. Okay, we're not going to go that far with it, but you could do that, I guess, if you wanted to. Okay, we're out on the road for our test drive, and let's see how things go here. We're going to not be able to go super fast or anything like that, but you know what? That's not what the Odyssey's about, is it? But like I said, plenty of horsepower here, so getting up to speed is not a problem. And you know, yeah, it would be nice to have a load of passengers here, some cargo maybe in the rear, maybe even pull a little trailer or something, and just see what the difference is with the Odyssey as far as how it gets down the road. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. I'm sure it might make somewhat of a difference, but I'm pretty sure the Odyssey can handle quite a bit more than just having me sitting in the passenger seat. But overall, it really does have some really solid pickup. And for being a fairly large vehicle, obviously it's not a huge van compared to what we saw in the 70s and the 80s with vans, but it's still a large vehicle. But it is very easily maneuverable, has a good tight turning radius for what it is, and the ride quality is pretty good. The seating itself is comfortable. You have the adjustable armrests on here. You also have the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. So a lot of ability to get comfortable no matter where you're sitting. I showed you that you can recline those rear seats. You can also recline the middle row seats, and obviously you can recline these as well. And if you're at a rest stop, somewhere where you pull off to maybe take a nap on a long road trip, this driver's seat and the passenger seat will actually lay just about completely flat if there's nobody in those back seats, or maybe they're moved out of the way. That makes it really convenient to take a nap and be very comfortable when doing so. You can pretty much lay completely flat in the seat. I haven't shown that in today's video, but it does do that. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. Get the job done for a family. But here's the thing I like about it, is that it's not just the family situation here that this Odyssey is so good for. If you're somebody who maybe is a handyman or something along those lines, maybe you need or making deliveries of some sort, you can take the seats out, fold down those magic stowing rear seats back there, and all of a sudden you have so much space back there for pretty much anything you can imagine that will fit. There is an unbelievable amount of space. So in so many ways, not only is this minivan the ultimate road trip minivan, it's really the ultimate multitasking minivan. In fact, it looks so good that that truck that just pulled out in front of us right there, he just wanted an extra close-up look at the front end of this van. It was worth risking his life for. Thankfully, I wasn't flooring it to show you how quickly this thing gets up to speed. But hey, we've got to have some extra entertainment in the video, and bad drivers are happy to oblige. I wasn't lying, was I? Look at how far back that seat goes.